Hi, welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams, and we're here to talk about the movie Wolfman. It is a reboot of the 1941 classic Universal monster film that is written and directed by Leigh Whannell. Given that it's a new film done by Blumhouse, I have mixed feelings about this movie. The reason why is because not all of Blumhouse films from last year were straight up dog trash. Last time we got a contemporary reboot of a classic Universal monster film done by Blumhouse was 2020's The Invisible Man, which was in fact a very good movie, and was also written and directed by Leigh Whannell. If this new movie can be just as good or maybe even better as that movie, then I'm absolutely sold. Is it worth watching? Well, let's talk about it. The movie story follows Blake and his family who are attacked by an unseen animal. In a desperate escape, they barricade themselves inside a farmhouse as the creature prowls the perimeter. As the night stretches on, however, Blake begins to behave strangely, transforming into something unrecognizable that soon jeopardizes his wife and daughter. Well, I did not expect this movie to be as good as it was, but here we are. I had super low expectations going into this movie beforehand, and boy, it really surprised me with just how awesome it was. It does something different that we've never seen in a werewolf movie before that I really enjoyed, which I will talk about later on. I do have only one thing about the movie that I did not like, which is another thing I will touch base on later. Right now, I want to talk about the many great things the movie has going for it. That all includes some immaculate sound design, nice looking cinematography, wonderful acting from everyone, really good scares, and lastly, very elaborate special effects. What I enjoy the most out of this movie is how we get an actual perspective of a person going through a slow and painful metamorphosis into a werewolf. Not only was the physical transformation really gross, but it was really neat seeing how one gets night vision and also a heightened sense of hearing. I don't think we've ever seen anything like that in a werewolf movie before, and it was done in a very awesome way in this film. Speaking of werewolf transformation, I'm so glad that they went all practical with little to no CGI special effects. The makeup and prosthetics used for the transformation process were definitely phenomenal and downright gross at the same time. Not everyone is going to like the actual reveal of what the Wolfman looks like in this movie, but that's okay. But I actually dug it, so yeah. The special effects in this movie are some of the best you could ever ask for out of a movie like this. Scare wise, there are some really good jump scares that will definitely startle you. The movie is filled to the brim with a lot of suspense and tension that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Since it is, in fact, a werewolf horror movie, it gets downright pretty graphic so much that it will make you squirm. The movie does a job well done to unsettle the viewer because that's what we ultimately want out of a werewolf movie, really. As far as the talent in front of the camera goes, both Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner are flat out amazing in their respective roles. We're normally not subjected to great acting in horror movies nowadays, but man, they both really knocked it out of the park. Another thing I want to acknowledge would have to be the sound design, which is in fact where the movie really excels at the most. The audio mixing is a huge integral part of this movie, and it was really amazing how it was done, especially during some sequences taking place during the werewolf metamorphosis. I don't know how else to describe it, but it was just really cool how it was done. Sure enough, this is a really good looking movie. It makes great use out of beautiful looking outdoor scenic shots that are shot on location in New Zealand, even though the movie is supposed to take place in Oregon. Anyways, there are some great looking shots that we see during the movie, and not only that, but the use of lighting and shadows throughout is really the icing on the cake, as it makes for some great scares. As far as I'm concerned, this is one of the most visually stunning horror movies I've seen in quite some time. I do have only one nitpick with the movie, and it would have to be how predictable the main plot twist is. I called it during the beginning of the movie, and sure enough, I was right. As far as everything else goes with the movie's writing, I thought it was very well done for the most part. I won't go into details because of spoilers, but there is this one part that I found questionable, but it's easy to overlook. With all that said, this is probably one of the better werewolf movies we have gotten in a while, and I had a lot of fun with it. From one horror fan to another, I definitely recommend checking out this movie. Overall, Wolfman is a fun and new visionary take on the werewolf genre that is equally both horrifyingly thrilling and entertaining. If you can manage to get past a minor hiccup in the writing, there's a whole lot of enjoyment to be had with this movie. For a reimagined reboot of a classic werewolf film, it's not entirely a perfectly made movie by any means, but it's pretty close to it. I give this movie an A. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Keep up my real reviews.